You are tuned into the hippest radio station in the Tri-City area, WAWL 103.5. This is Walk the Beat, the radio program dedicated to bringing you the very latest in musical talent from our very own West Michigan area. I'm Dave Palmer, your host of Walk the Beat. Today we're at the Third Coast Recording Company. Our program is underwritten by DeBoer, Baumann Co, Rycenga Building Center, Quality Hardwood Floor Installation, and Mercury Store and Lock. Today's guest is Dutcher Snedeker. How you doing, man?
Dutcher!
Yeah. It's Dutcher. Well, it's good to see you, man. Yeah. We've already listened to you play a couple of tunes that we're going to, the other people, the folks are going to be able to see. But I also want to mention I'm here with Elijah Russ.
Hey.
Of course, we met you through Elijah.
Right.
And that's one thing I can say about Elijah. He's really been finding out some great talent for the Walk the Beat radio program over in the Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo area. Now, you're living in Kalamazoo?
Yep, just moved there end of August.
Oh, so you just got there?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. And you're a pianist?
Yep.
Do you call yourself a pianist or a keyboard player?
Yeah, I'd say pianist first. I mean, kind of have to play keyboards for gigs, so either one.
I would say pianist. The way I've been listening to you play, you have some wonderful technique, and it just sounds great, man.
Thanks.
So anyway, you're here. You're here now. And how have you been to start with?
Good. Just started at Western Michigan University doing my jazz masters in performance there. Nice community there, a lot of great players, multiple jams a week, which is
nice,
crazy. Going from Grand Rapids where you try to get in on maybe one jam a week and going to three, it's like, oh, which one do I choose? Or I can go to all of them.
That's nice. And you're a good enough player to where you can fit in any of it, can't you? And that's what's really nice. If you can play, you can really fit with the whole community of players, can't you?
Right, it's my first, actually before I started there, my first gig was with a funk group, and all of those people were jazz majors, and I'm like, oh, I've met a bunch of jazz players who also do other styles, like right off the bat.
Right, exactly.
Well, what's that like, being in a place where everybody's kind of got the same goal and you're just like jamming to kill time? Like, that's awesome.
It's really refreshing to have a lot of people who see their training as taking them outside of school. It's not just to meet a requirement or do a performance for credit. They're really thinking about their artistry, how they're presenting tunes, to show their personalities as well as like pay homage to the greats that they're trying to mimic. So
right. Now you guys got a pretty good brain trust there of creativity, don't you? I mean, it's just flowing out of that place like that.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with it? I mean, eventually, like even when somebody starts talking to me about music and how to perform and what we're going to do, man, I mean, how long can you actually hang in there in a creative mode? Is it like 6 hours at a crack or 1 hour? I mean, eventually I'm going, oh man, I can't think anymore about this. But there are people that are so obsessed with it, I don't think they would ever stop if they had to. Do you consider yourself obsessed?
It depends. For me, it's definitely where I'm trying to be creative. Yeah. I'm finding less and less I can be creative at my house, like in my own space, just because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff crammed into my tiny apartment room. Right. So it kind of gets overwhelming. Like, what do I have this here and this here. So usually it's going into a rehearsal setting or meeting with friends in a space. Definitely going into the studio. I've spent a lot of time over the summer at Matt Tenclay's studio, recording for different stuff, and just being in an environment where you have all these tools and somebody else is taking care of the recording, the engineering, the helping with the creative
direction. So you can work on the music while they're doing all the capturing. They're capturing all the music. So do you have your own CD out or anything like that?
Not yet. This year is a good time for me to work on that. Sure. I've really enjoyed the past couple of years meeting a lot of players from Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Kalamazoo, Lansing, a lot of MSU students.
They're all good, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of really great players. And it's been nice to meet all those people and work out a lot of different ideas, play in different settings.
Right.
And now I feel with this kind of going into grad school, I can have more of a a time to focus on what tunes do I want to work on, how do I want to develop my writing and my playing, do I want to try and go for a 12-track super release with like a quintet or something, or do I want to try an EP of solo piano stuff? There's a lot of ideas.
There's so many places to go with it. That's what I'm talking about. When eventually you're just going, oh my goodness, give me some coffee.
Well, too many options, you know.
There's a million options
like
when it comes
in
to
a candy
music.
store, you know.
You're right in the pile of it. I think this Western Michigan is just full. Even Eastern Michigan, all of Michigan is just full of players. I think people are really missing the boat if they don't think Michigan is where it's happening, because they're really everywhere, man, and they're great players.
And it's so, what I like is it's very communal.
Yes.
I think of one of the groups I play in, Hannah Rose and the Gravestones. We have, in that group, it's guitar, bass, drums, myself on keys, and vocals. But you look at each player and you'll see this web of like, oh, the bass and guitar player play with Eric Engblade and his trio, and oh, the drummer's a church drummer with these guys and over at Res Life, and so it's like you're seeing this kind of web of, oh, this person, where do I know him from?
Right.
Oh, this band.
Which is exactly what you said to me. I said, man, you look familiar. And he goes, well, I've played with Andy Rycenga before, right? And I go, that's where I've met you, and that's what it's so cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That is what's so cool about this, about the music community around here. You're right. Everybody's just trying to help everybody, or at least jam a little bit and have some fun and really collaborate. I've never been in a situation in any industry at all who is when they collaborate like this from different places. It's like I used to build houses. Well, you got your guys, and then they got their guys. It's not like I'm trying to sell a house for them. You know what I mean? We might cross over a lot, but not quite like this music thing, which I think is wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. It brings just people together. No matter what is going on with the music, we're together in a room learning about each other and their styles and what they got to say.
Yeah, and it's totally, I feel like it's indicative of the fact that you have so many outlets where you can hear music now, and especially if you can dive into a local show. Oh, my friend's got a band in his basement. It could be something that small to finding a band on like YouTube or Spotify, and then you're sharing with other artists. And
it's a gas for me. I'm loving it. You're enjoying yourself. That's the main thing, man. Enjoy the day. My daughter went to Western. She went for the educational part of it as a teacher, but the music thing over there is incredible also. And actually, Albion College is a good one too. I mean, that's all down that way. Kalamazoo. We're doing a Walk the Beat in Albion, which isn't that far.
Oh, right, yeah.
So hopefully next year you'll be able to sign up for that one for us. Yeah. But well, I think we should get to one of these songs.
Sure.
So the first song that you're performing for us is Java Jammin'.
Yeah. Good old.
And I got the coffee. Is that the
It was with a G though.
Yeah.
It's Jaga.
Jaga.
Yeah. Jaga Jammin'.
And it comes from, there's this band in Norway, or the Scandinavian region. They have a song called Oslo Skyline. So the group is probably pronounced differently, but Jaga Jazzist, and they're this like hybrid kind of big band of having stuff that sounds like more like rock, but then you have like, there's like electronic elements, there's jazz elements. They have really creative uses for all the different sounds and colors within the group. It's not like when the electronics kick in, the band is gone or something.
Everybody's still in there.
So that was partially what inspired it.
Well, we're going to hear the piano part of it anyway.
Right.
So that's what we're going to hear. Bleu, let's listen to Dutcher Snedeker and Jaga Jammin'. You are tuned in to the hippest radio station in the Tri-City area, WAWL 103.5. And we are back with Walk the Beat and Dutcher Snedeker. That was Jaga Jammin', man.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, you're just so smooth. When I'm sitting here watching you perform, it's just so cruising along, man. You just got it down. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was very, you know, it was actually relaxing, just having my morning cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is kick back. This is all right. This is what it's about. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how old are you?
I actually, a couple weeks ago, just turned 24.
24, old
Yep.
man already.
Old man, yep.
So,
Downhill.
have you already, yeah, downhill from here, son. Have you, you've already been to college?
Yep, I finished at Grand Valley State last April with a classical performance major.
Nice,
So,
nice. Grand Valley's a great school, too.
Yeah, I initially, as a high schooler, I mean, you're told, oh, you got to make sure you're ready to afford college, like find a college you can afford.
Yeah.
Grand Valley was just kind of it was a strong school in that, I mean, not just price range, but, they have a music program and they have a lot of good
I mean, they
things.
offer, man, I remember my sister went there when they first opened. It was nothing but a building out in the field in Allendale. I mean, it was just, we're going, where are we going? Oh, this is where your sister goes to college. I go, really? This looks like just a building. And now it's just, you know.
It's huge.
Something
It's
else.
wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm glad you got to go there.
Yeah.
And it is an affordable college.
Yep.
Not to
and-
get off on that, but I mean, it's I'm glad that you're making another step over here to Western, though.
Yeah, and Grand Valley, as much as it was good to improve my technique and learn classical rep and solo piano stuff, what I really enjoyed about it was Grand Valley's, they have a new music ensemble, so it's like a lot of contemporary works, mainly from living composers. I think the oldest they might get is Steve Reich, who's still alive. And that, I mean, just seeing, not just working with players in a unit, because you would sign up for the class, and then until you graduated, pretty much you were in that unit. So every year you develop with the same players, you play at a lot of the same shows, Right, you're not just jumping in and out. This is your group. You guys are going to learn your stuff together. Yeah. And you're going to have a little career here for 4 years or 3 years or whatever. So great to just have a unit.
And know that they're coming back and that so you're both on the same level as you're cruising along here, instead of retraining somebody, which is the hard part for most bands. Johnny's got to go. We just learned this set.
Yeah,
you know?
it's just like, now I got to teach it to. Yeah,
do you do a lot of freestyle too?
Yeah, it's been fun the last, I think about a little over a year. I play regularly with a trumpet player, Brad Fritcher. He's right now on a mini tour with a group he calls Moods, which incorporates a lot of different jazz players in Michigan, but he's got a fixed unit for this tour. But we had about once a month. It's kind of been pushed to once every other month, just because Local Spins is fitting in more bands, because there's more bands. But we do at the Speakeasy Lounge another jazz night that's, the basis is improvisation. So we might call tunes, we might not. It might be jazz, it might be another style.
Somebody
but
just kicks it off, and you kind of do. Well,
we just point at a player. You do something, and then all right, let's build a song.
How wonderful! You know, that way. At one time, that was my whole goal. Be there, so if they point at you, you can hang. And I mean, I'm happy with that. That was always my goal. Now, what's your goal? Where are we going with all this?
Where am I going? I know that.
Not that you need to know, but we're always looking.
Where do I see myself? It's funny getting asked, like, because there is that, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And if you had asked me last year, I wouldn't have said I was going to Western, because I didn't apply. They just gave me an offer in the summer, and it's like, sure, that's money will.
They came to see you.
Yeah,
that's even better, man. That's great.
It's like, okay,
wonderful, wonderful.
Well, for sure, the two styles that I want to be kind of my focus are for sure jazz, and then contemporary classical, new music kind of stuff. That same kind of continuing that ensemble setting, what I saw at Grand Valley and what I saw at the Bang in a Can Summer Festival over the summer. 3 weeks of learning a ton of music with like
goodness.
players from all over the world that were
How
all
nice.
just young professionals, and yeah, so very inspiring, and it just both genres kind of incorporate all different styles, playing
So-
abilities. Yeah.
So you want to learn this
Mm-hmm.
and then be a professional performer?
Yeah, performing. I know I have an interest in the studio side of it too. I did Michael Crittenden's like Mackinac Harvest little 6-week recording school to
Sure.
kind of
Very good, though.
piece together like, oh, what does this mic mean with this?
That'd be great for all performers to take that, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so they can understand how this is going to transfer onto some other kind of media, so people can hear it.
And especially for even just the process, like going into a studio knowing, okay, it's not just going to be, all right, I'm going to play a song in a room. It's, all right,
Yeah.
what are we going to mic it with? What
Correct.
instrument? How are we
Correct.
going to arrange it? Yeah.
You can become more involved with your sound engineer when you do that, so that you can speak the same speak. You know, I think that's a very important, because I think our sound engineers are underrated in the music, totally. I mean, they're a huge part of this. So I'm glad that you've taken the time to go through this 6-week course, which
Yeah.
I should also, by the way.
Well, I mean, once you start to, learn a little bit of that stuff and like get a general view, you're like, whoa, dude, okay.
Just give me the keyboard.
Yeah, I'll pay you
Yeah.
whatever.
I know, man, that's a whole other breed of people, but
Yeah.
that's all good. In fact, we should do a show on them, but regardless of that, let's get to this next song.
Yeah.
The next song is one that you've written,
Yep.
but we don't know the name of it because you haven't named it yet.
Nope. I kind of wrote it. It was definitely written at night. One of those moments where I wasn't tired, but I was very relaxed, just at the piano, and
nice.
I like to play around with a lot of warm sounding chords, and
Yeah,
that's
I was
why
watching you
Sounds
so
like
much.
a
I'm going, "Check
candlelit
this guy."
song, man.
And I like the way that you really kind of just throw in, just seems almost nonchalantly, you know, you just kind of cruise along it, you know, we're going to do some of this, some of that. And you just go, wow, this is smooth. I love it. I love it. So, Bleu, we have a chance to listen to Dutcher Snedeker one more time with an unnamed song that he wrote late at night.
Yeah.
Just kind of hanging. So, here we go. Hey, we're back at WAWL 103.5 with Walk the Beat and Dutcher Snedeker. Another winner. Another winner.
Yeah.
Thank you. But before I go any farther, I want to thank our underwriters, DeBoer, Baumann Co, Rycenga Building Center, Quality Hardwood Floor Installation, and Mercury Store and Lock. That last song was an unnamed song from Dutcher Snedeker. Hey, how do we get a hold of you or find your music?
Sure. Well, I do have a website. It's www.dutchersnedeker.com.
There you go.
Just my name.
Very
And
nice.
Snedeker is Snedeker.
Yes.
Well, even just handling, the one thing that people don't understand is you got all this work into all the music.
Mm-hmm.
Then now we got to put a website together. Now we got to do Facebook. Now we got,
Right.
all the other stuff that, it's hard enough just getting paid to play a gig, let alone produce all this other stuff. How does that work into it at all?
It's been a process for me, especially just time management. It's the biggest.
bet, man.
And it's also just kind of taking cues from artists you might listen to or work with that are doing these things. You hear your friends made a website. Oh, maybe I should try making a website.
Correct.
And it's funny because people see the performer, the musician, and they think, okay, they're the keyboard player, sweet. But then I'm also booking gigs. I'm running my
Correct.
own website. I'm doing all this business
You
back
have to learn an entire industry. Really, you have to learn all that stuff. And a huge learning curve when you first start that stuff.
Right.
And trying to take tips from friends, right?
Yep, and
That's what we're
friends,
talking
faculty at universities, and it's interesting because some schools do have they integrate the business end with the performing end, but a lot of places they want you to be a good musician, they want you to understand music from different angles. But then the business end, they kind of throw you out of the institution, and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, wait, how do I get gigs again?
You're on your own.
Yeah, well,
All of
I
my
don't
gigs
get
are
it.
booked
how do
into
we
school.
fix that kind of thing, though?
We are trying to fix
Well,
that.
of course, but
That's what I mean. We're looking
Yeah.
for that key.
Yeah. Yeah.
And almost all of it is about money.
Right.
If we all had the money, we could have all these things produced, and things would go a lot smoother. But most of us don't have that kind of cake laying around. So you have to do it in your spare time.
Yep.
And it's really just there is no spare time.
Right.
I'm constantly talking about time.
Yeah.
And I just know that it takes a lot of dedication to learn this music, and I want you to know that we at Walk the Beat appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
And we are trying to help in little ways like this, putting on these little shows and helping musicians get their name out there. Now, who are some of the bands that you're hanging with?
Well,
Since I know you know a lot of them.
yeah. Well, I guess the groups that I'm gigging with regularly right now, Hannah Rose and the Gravestones, I mentioned them earlier.
Great band.
Yeah, all super fun to work with. Hannah's a great singer, and people come just as much as they'll come out to dance and have a good time. They're also noticing when the bass player starts doing crazy
Yeah.
crazy lines or weird effects, and we're all just kind of having fun on stage.
Sure.
So that's been really fun the last couple years. And then I play with Brad Fritcher a lot. We originally started a couple years ago, I guess 3 years ago now at this point. We made a quartet that kind of turned into his current project, Brad Fritcher's Moods. They're on a little mini tour recording session thing. But we definitely play a lot of shows together. He's been a big partner in kind of creative crime.
Yeah, yeah.
We've shedded a lot of ideas and
Nice.
different arrangements of tunes we've listened to. And then recently I started playing with Benjamin James and the Old Mission Collective. Benjamin is from the Traverse City area, works really hard to just not only book gigs and kind of put himself out in the spotlight. He's really good about treating the people he works with fairly and getting us all just on the same page of
Keeping the communication straight.
yeah, there's no where's the gig, what time. It's just here's where we're playing, here's what I'm paying, here's what you can expect. It's been very nice to just have that level of Professionalism.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to hear. I wasn't able to record it with him, but he's got an album coming out soon. So I'm sure I'll be playing that music.
Great,
at some
great,
point.
great. And then you got your crew at Western, right?
Yep. Yeah. No solid group yet, but I have been playing with a lot of the people at different jam sessions, and meeting people, just seeing them in my classes or ensembles and that kind of thing.
Well, we want to thank you for taking the time to come see us here at Walk the Beat and spread some of your music around.
Yeah.
And we have a gas doing this, so thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah.
And I want to thank our producer, Eliza Russ, for lining this up for us. I want to thank Dave Darling from D Squared Creative for the video. And of course, always Bleu VanDyke, my favorite sound engineer, always hanging out with us. And I want to thank our underwriters, DeBoer, Baumann and Company, Rycenga Building Center, Quality Hardwood Floor Installation, Mercury Store and Lock. Thanks to everybody that's pitching in. Of course, Bill Kreiser, thanks for letting us use the studio here at Third Coast Recording. And remember, everybody, listen local.
The Walk the Beat radio show is recorded in Grand Haven, Michigan. Production and engineering provided by Bleu VanDyke. Featuring your host, Dave Palmer.